Hi everybody, it's Dan. Welcome back to Rimworld. This will be episode 3 of Escape from Prison Planet 314. Our escaped convicts are sleeping the night away. Eiji's nearly breaking, but we did survive a heat wave. We've managed to build the wall perimeter, create some power devices. We're working on our stove and working on our butchering station, and we have a little bit of light. We even managed to down an elephant and an ostrich, but our food supplies are very low and we're really struggling with wood. Hopefully, this episode, we will manage to get the food going and see if we can get some defenses in place, because right now we're pretty much just going to have to use superior numbers or tactics if we are challenged. So off we go. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up time. Really what we're going to try and prioritize again is getting the stove, which should get done because it just needs the components, and the butcher station, which is a problem because we need wood. I'm not even actually sure. I know we marked a number of trees at one point, but they were pretty wide or far out. So like I can go mark these, but it's a long way to go. Have any choices? That's kind of where we are. I think we were stretching. We didn't mark that one down there. We got a little wood there. We got some wood we already chopped down. Thought we might have, this isn't too bad, we marked some berries, which might be able to tide us over if we can get them going. So, looks like Tsukihana is doing the electric stove, which will become powered. Actually, we have some coffee, so what I'll do is I'll get us down to normal speed. I'm going to go ahead and set up a bill for simple meals. So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll probably set it to about, say, 30, because that's what we'll be sticking with. We're going to lower the radius down to pretty much just right around the area. So that'll cover our fridge, a little bit more than our fridge. We're going to let anyone cook who can cook. We're going to leave it with all ingredients right now. And we will take it to the best stockpile since we don't have somewhere else. Could drop it on the floor, but it makes sense since we're going to probably be going back to get more food. And the only other thing we will do is, that was do X times. I meant to do until we have X. So we'll do this again and reduce it to 30. We will pause when we are complete, and then we'll resume when it gets low again, say 5. And there we go. So hopefully, I forget who our cook is. Looks like our only cook is Jeym. Jeym is headed out here. The priority Jeym has with cooking is fairly high. So, but growing is also fairly high. So hopefully Jeym will take those back and we'll do some cooking of at least the agave and the berries that we're seeing here. The raspberries. Oh, it looks like we're going to get some rice in. So we should be good for food. The rice will really help along with the berries, because that means we don't actually have to finish the butcher station to carve these meat up to make some simple meals, and that is the most important thing in the world right now. Otherwise, we are going to starve. So we're going to go ahead and go double speed so that people can get working. And I may end up prioritizing Jeym to actually go ahead and do some cooking here, just to get a few meals under the queue and on the table. Let Jeym finish up though. There we go. Okay. Now looks like we're going to go grab some more berries. Does not hurt. Jeym is, as you can see, cooking away. That's great. That is survival. And hopefully they'll go get some of these trees too, even though they're further away. Now the reason I want the trees is the butcher station. We also need wood for things like other chairs. It would be nice to enhance the beds a little bit by putting some end tables and dressers. As a matter of fact, with the walls complete, that may be, when we get the butcher station done first, but that may be the next thing for wood. That way they like their beds just a wee bit more. But as you can see, we've got another plot of rice done here. So Jem's going to go ahead and grab that. But we have enough meals to make it now at this point, and we'll have more to eat soon. Let's see, so let's talk plans while they're busily working away. So, I'm thinking that we might eventually extend this wall. Not now, but eventually. So we'll be expanding in this general direction so we can build things like crafting and workrooms and other things like that. And the ocean will act as a natural defense. But we're going to need probably some traps. We'll probably need to create a corridor with some traps. The best traps Tsukihana suggests are the steel, plasteel, but we don't have plasteel, but steel. Stone takes a bit longer, but they're decent, and wood is sort of like the, I would say it's the cheap way to go, except in our climate, you know, it's not that cheap. It's actually kind of difficult because we do have a lack of wood. So the day has gone pretty quick, but we got what we needed to get done, which was get some meals going. And now you can see the butcher station is going to come into play. What I'm actually going to do here is, looks like when I originally put this stockpile down, there were spaces that were either incomplete or taken up by something. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that out so that way we have more room in our fridge. Apparently, Jeym, our drug lord, is inspired and will do an immediate recruit on the next person if we do give that a try. So hopefully in a certain amount of days, I think it was 8, we will have a pick of the litter of someone, and we will maybe try and expand our colony now that we've got a little bit of food. So the butcher station's done. There is no light there, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit butcher creature as a bill item. I'm going to do forever, and I'm going to have them take the meat to the stockpile since it's so close. However, for butchering, I'm going to have them stick to just grabbing it out of the fridge. Okay? Sounds good. So they'll do that in the morning. I'm zooming in here because I want to point out, look how dirty it is. And of course, we don't have real floors or anything like that. Certainly a problem. We don't have wood. Are people going to go grab wood? It's certainly a question. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple things here. One, in the morning, we're going to have Tsukihana prioritize cleaning. So Suki will spend some time cleaning for a little while. In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and, even though this may or may not happen, it will help them out. So we're going to go ahead and create a dresser. And, oh, look, Psychic Soothe. Every colonist of the male gender smiles with content. Some distant engine of happiness is stirring. So Eiji, who was having mood issues, is going to benefit from that, which is a very good thing. I am probably going to, actually, why don't I just do this? Table here, and table here. What I'll do is I'll build a copy of this over here. Select this and deconstruct it, and then I will copy this, build an end table here. So don't know how soon those will happen, and hopefully Suki, when Suki gets up, will do a little bit of cleaning after Suki eats, and Jeym goes back to cooking, which is critical, something we will need. And Jeym will actually go do the butchering after Jeym either runs out of food or as you can see, Suki's running around cleaning stuff up. This will help. It'll get dirty again, but you know they're not impressed by the ugly environment, so it's something we want to work on. In addition, beyond these items, the furniture items that should make them a little bit more comfortable, because we're lacking wood, I'd like to get working on stone. So production. Stonecutter's table. Unfortunately, we got a choice: silver, steel, or wood. Wood is what we're going to go with, even though it does. Steel's always a valuable commodity. We can grow wood in theory, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in here with the kitchen right now. Probably not necessarily the ideal spot, but that's what we're going to do. Rare thumbos. A small herd of thrumbos have wandered in the area. Useful by nature, these rare creatures are extremely dangerous when confronted. I think as a group, they can agree they are not going after the thrumbos. There is no benefit to them, except for potential trade. Well, meat. But there are much better potential targets for meat. So, what you see is Jeym took down the elephant. Now look how much meat we have. We only use 10 meat per meal. So we're going to have quite a few meals. So the food crisis is temporarily over. Not permanently over, but temporarily. Now, let's make sure our roof, good, we're roofed over those things. Now, I feel like we might want to go ahead and extend the roof. So let's go ahead and extend it over this whole sort of area. Although that will make it dark. Look at that. We got an end table, normal quality. Shoddy end table, sorry, dresser. Working on this one. That's fabulous. Jeym is busy trying to get up to that 30 with the meals, and Tsuki is hauling wood. So even though we put Tsuki high on the cleaning, Tsuki got done with the cleaning that was immediately possible. So we are still progressing along at double speed. There's wood to chop, wood to lug. There's berries that we cut that we need to lug in. And we're going to work on those things. And another day is going to pass very, very quickly. We do have, what, 480 steel? But I really want to get the stone cutter station going. If we can get that going, we can extend sort of a wall, at least to a little ways here, and maybe put some traps in, so that we'll have some kind of defense. So that is still what we primarily will focus on. Looks like Suki's going to go do more chopping, which is fine. Jeym, I suspect, is going to go to bed. Eiji is going to finish up this dresser. Would not be surprised, going to head to bed himself. So at this point, this bedroom's mediocre. It's not awful anymore, but it was a sort of building that we stumbled across when we crash landed, and we made it into a bedroom. Got the stone floors and the stone walls, so it's not a huge surprise that it's better quality. If you look over here, borderline awful. If we could just notch it up, maybe that end table, maybe put a little bit of floor in. Ooh, this is awful, but I wonder whether it's because it's dirty, because we do have a little bit of smooth stone floor in here. That's the other thing, that it would be nice to get stones. Well, I could use wood on the floor. What wood? So, let's see here. Do we have anything to mark for tomorrow? No, not really. They just need to get whatever other wood they can get in. I'm actually going to... I wonder what happened to that wart. You guys may remember from a previous episode, some wart dropped. I believe it was right here. We didn't bother to go pick it up because we're not going to be making beer anytime soon. Although, a place like this, I can see wanting a nice, cool beer. Instead, we let it, and it probably decayed. So we're going to go use this mod command to unforbid everything out there. There was nothing out there. Sometimes a dead animal, if there's predators, or potential other things that may have been forbidden. So we're looking pretty good there. Looks like Jeym's up. Jeym's going to eat at the table. It would be really nice to have more chairs, like a chair for the stove, because we do spend a bit of time, or a chair at the stonecutter station that we're about to build, because the plan is to have, you know, someone spend some time cutting some stone. But, excuse me. So, Eiji is off. Our mood is much improved, probably with the improvements to our comfort, to the bed. Didn't end up starving. Looks like we're back to cooking meals, which is fine. Wow, we went through that meat a little bit faster than I thought. We still have the ostrich, and we can still mark something else. Again, I'm going to kind of, since we got 27 meals, I'm going to let it slide for a little while. Still trying to focus on the things we've talked about. See here, it would be a nice little ostrich. You know what? Let's just mark it. That way Suki can go deal with it. It's not that far away. Everybody's still trying to cut wood and get wood. Just to cut down this whole forest, but it's so far to go. Still haven't even finished. Look at that, 50 wood for that, 30 wood for that. Yes. No wood's been applied there. This hurts. You know, why don't we have Eiji? If we could sit there and just say, hey, go ahead and chop that wood. I'm gonna go ahead and prioritize you chopping that wood. Get to work. Look at that, Tsukihana just took that ostrich down in no time flat. We got 78 ostrich meat, 113 elephant meat. So, you know, a little rat wandering around. So we should be very, very good as far as that. Gems, hauling wood. What we really need to do is, they're chopping one tree at a time. It would be nice. It looks like Eiji may be... Oh, that's 48 wood in a haul. That's pretty good. Okay. So we have a herd migration. A large herd of ibex are passing through the area. They won't attack. That's a lot of them. Imagine if you had something like a light machine gun, or maybe, you know, one of the mini guns, and you just started trouncing them all. All that meat, hide. They might get mad, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So look at this. Okay, it's not very good quality, poor and awful, but now this bedroom's getting a little bit better. It'll be a little bit more comfortable. This says it's inactive, which makes me unhappy. I must not have them. They must need to be at the right next to maybe the head of the bed or something like that. So I may need to move some of this stuff around. I don't want to do it this evening because it's, you know, they're going to be going to bed any second. The other thing is, I'd really just like to get the floors, get the stone, get the floors in. Of course, it's a pipe dream if I can't get the stone going, right? So let's go ahead and let them keep chugging away. Good, look at all that wood. Makes me happy. Get any in here? Almost. So that wood, I'm not going to mark any more wood for a little bit. Promises, promises. But I'm going to go ahead, let them grab that last bit of wood, grab any berries that are out there, and hopefully finish up this stone cutter station. And then I'm going to make some stone. Now, as far as that, crafting wise, we have a couple people that can do some crafting. And even Jeym could do it if Jeym, needed to, because it's just making stone blocks. The question will be, well, the one person who's doing that, what are the other folks going to be doing? So, we could harvest stuff like agave, which is a food substance, right? We could go mine some steel. Wouldn't hurt to have more steel, especially if we're going to put some traps out. We're going to end up having to clear this out if we want to end up over here anyway. So if we're thinking about that, we have one person who can mine, which is Suki. So what we'll go ahead and do is lower this to 4. Eiji's up, so won't be crafting. Instead we'll be mining. Eiji will be crafting. And then, oh, look at that. It's happening. I'm going to go ahead and slow speed. Oh, horrible. I can't believe failure. So we just lost half the wood. So luckily we did have some other wood out there. But they're going to have to, maybe there'll be enough right there. I don't know. Yes, there will be. That's great. So BG's more confident. That's all I have to say. Okay. Pausing real quick. Actually, I don't need to pause. Go normal speed. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up a bill here. We're going to make, I don't care what. So we're going to do make any stone blocks. And I could set make up to a certain limit, but really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do X times. I could do forever, but we'll just adjust this occasionally. So I'm going to make 51. I am going to keep the ingredients down to, this is a reasonable, I can reduce it later, but this puts us, in range of quite a bit. And then I could put take to stockpile, which is up here. I made it for the blocks, but I think I'm going to leave that actually. That way it gets it out of the room, even though someone else could haul it. We're going to do, you name it, all rocks. So let's make sure, Eiji, I want you to do this. This is your life. In addition, let's go ahead, even though I know there is some hauling out there to be done. Let's go ahead and mark all that for mining. Yeah. So, that should leave Eiji forcibly chained to this table, making some stone blocks so we can make some floors and some walls and whatever else we need with regards to stone. We can even replace some of this wood and recover some of it. In addition, Tsukihana, after this delivery, should be out mining, which should leave Jeym to do other hauling. So that's either hauling some of that other wood, maybe there's some other stuff on the map. It could be hauling some stuff around here. We'll just let that go ahead and make sure that we pretty much pulled in everything we need. We're still going through meals at a fairly rapid pace. We are actually now, though, with the kills, we're getting a few hides. So one of the things that I would certainly want to consider is maybe making some clothing, like some cowboy hats or something, with this fairly warm climate that this prison planet is. Now, just to share with you, we could either go with an electric tailor bench, which takes electricity, which is fine, 50 steel, 3 components. The components we don't have a whole lot of, 17 still, in wood. Or the hand tailor bench, which only takes wood, but it's slower, doesn't use electricity, doesn't use components. Now, time's kind of vital to us to some degree, but also pretty sure if we set the electric tailor table down, we won't be able to move it. And so we don't have a place where we're probably going to fully utilize it right now. So if I really feel that way, I would probably either 175 wood, so I would probably stick with the hand to begin with, especially if I'm only using it, to make 3 hats or something like that. As you can see, we're starting to get some stone blocks. This is fabulous. They also show up once they're in a stockpile, or within, I believe, maybe even the home perimeter of our base. They show up in this list, this nice little list over here in the left upper. And so you can see I've got 40 sandstone blocks and 20 limestone blocks. That really doesn't go very far when you start throwing them down on floors and walls, so I'm just going to let it build up a little bit. But I'm not going to let it build up too much because we definitely want to get floors in here and make people's life better. Suki's over here trying to mine away. Seems like a good thing to do. Jeym is out. Ooh, big gather. 72 wood. That'll be great. Because we're still going to need so many things with wood. But again, I'm not going to mark anything else to begin with right now until we establish what we've got going on and get most of the other stuff that we believe is out there hauled in. So I'm going to go ahead and increase it up to double speed again. As soon as we get, say, ooh, I don't know. You know, the other thing is, I just got distracted, but I'd like to make them double beds. Comfortable and more nice. Now, I don't know if you saw what Jeym just did. Jeym did some rearranging of the steel to try and maximize space in the stockpile. But there's still wood out there to haul, so we're not yet in the I don't know what I'm doing, there's nothing else for me to do type of a mode. Let's see whether Jeym's a constructor. Eiji's the constructor. Okay. You know what we could do though? Once this one block is done, we could release Eiji from here. Could let Jeym. Already another night going by. That's great. Okay. You're gonna throw some horseshoes. Looks like even though I cleared Eiji's priority, Eiji's like, no, I'm in full agreement. Need more stone. Much, much more stone. So this is going along well. Psychic Soothe, unfortunately, is ending. It was only really helping Eiji anyway, but can't appreciate that. It's looking very nice. Emma's gonna haul that steel. At this point, I think we're gonna set some construction up. We want to get these done. I think we have enough blocks, but we do want to get the traps. What do you think? Floors first? Okay, let's do that. So I'm using a mod. Here's normal floors. You only got really, beyond the different types of stone, you have really, what, two choices. The flagstones or the tiles. So sort of these rectangular tiles or this sort of a look. There are some other things, sterile, so forth, but for the stone, that's really what you got. I'm using a mod that gives you more floor options. You can do hexagonal, you can do this sort of mosaic looking, you can do checkered, you can do random. So just more opportunity to choose other artistic, if you will, choices, you know. So we got limestone and we got sandstone. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make sandstone floors, at least for now. So let's go with the mosaic. Go ahead and place it there. I'm going to leave the normal stone floor. That way we take advantage of that. In addition, I don't know that we have enough, but we're going to go ahead and try and cover that. And that should be a reasonable start. Let's see. That'll take up some resources. It'll make those 2 bedrooms a little bit nicer. And what else do we want to do here? I think after that, that was using sandstone. I talked about making walls and traps. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use limestone. This will be the plan. Now, different people want to play the game different ways, of course. Some people don't believe in using the traps. Some people don't believe in using turrets. I think you just need to play the way you want, the way you like, the way you're comfortable with. I guarantee you there will be many ways for me to die, even though I'm going to set up a trap corridor. It's very possible that I will, probable even, that I will die before escaping. But we're going to make every effort. So, this will become limestone. And this was certainly not thought of by me. I think I may have watched Quill 18 or something. It was maybe the first time I saw it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put doors eventually at these intervals. Now, it's sort of a scary thought because it's like, wait a minute, we don't have any wood. Well, although they open slower, you can make doors out of rock. So if I do this, I now have doors made out of stone. Now they take longer to open, significantly longer to open. So certainly less desirable for ones where my people would move through. On the other hand, and they take a lot of stone. Look at that, 25, 25, 25. But on the other hand, they will be, they'll be solid, and they're the material we have. So I actually did not let you guys know, but your solar flare happened, shuts down all electricity. It's unfortunate because it's very warm out. Well, now it's ended, but it would have affected our air conditioner and our electric stove. Mind you, we have plenty of meals, but meat could have rotted if it lasted for too long. Luckily, they typically don't last for too long. Suki is doing a wonderful job over here mining. Eiji put down all this floor. I can't believe it's still awful. Didn't want to look at roofing. We want to see attractiveness. Okay, so there's some dirt in here going on. There's some dirt in here going on. There's some dirt in here going on. So, if we can, Suki's basically done. So, Suki, after you consume your meal while sitting in the refrigerator, oh, you're not quite done. That's right, these two. I'm wondering whether, oh, we got some cargo pods. Free rice. Well, we'll flag it all for, not for hauling necessarily, but we'll make it so it can be picked up. It's a long way to go. If Jeym feels like Jem's got nothing better to do and wants to go haul it, that's great. I'd really like to know whether Suki is going to. Good, Suki's doing a little cleaning. We left it fairly high priority. So now if we look at this bedroom, mediocre, not bad. So when it gets dirty, it's awful, but mediocre. 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 Yes, for mediocre. Oh, that's my little happy dance, I guess. Look at this wall coming along nicely. It's a very good thing to see. And then what we'll do is, we'll follow up with some stone walls in here, or doors in here. And then we'll start placing some traps. Of course, that'll all happen on the next day. So, let's get through there. Jeym, what are you doing? You're relaxing, socially. Now, it looks like we're starting to actually fill this stockpile up. So we need to give some consideration to, should we, start utilizing some more space over here for a stockpile. We could do down here. There's no reason why we couldn't down here. This is probably eventually going to be an expansion for the fridge. But because of that, there's no real reason why we couldn't go ahead and mark it right now. So let's do that while nighttime's rolling by. We'll probably put it up more this way. You can usually build roofs quite a bit out. So we'll go ahead and maybe make it all the way. You know what? Let's just go wild. Now let's also roof that in. There you go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy these settings, and we're going to go ahead and paste them over here. Now we could adjust them. So as an example, we could make sure all the the hides and the cloth go over here, and the steel and the wood go over there. Well, they're close enough right now that we're just going to leave them both, whatever goes, if you will. So you're just going to go out and watch the clouds. Suki's going to eat a meal. As you can see, we're getting down again, but we got plenty of meat. If you recall, we set it so that the cook would resume when they hit 5 meals on meat. So, did I actually not go far enough with that? Oh, good. Fine. It's all very, very good business. Now, it would be nice to put flooring in here. This is a dining room. It's considered awful. This is probably not going to be our end dining room. And so then the question is, will we end up having to remove the floors? Now, I think this will actually probably end up being our medic bay. If we ever get that far. So, the question is, do we want to save time now? Usually I put my medic bay in sterile tile, which takes steel and silver. It says it's neutral in terms, very slow to build, keeps very clean. Not sure that that would actually be very conducive from the dining room. It would take some more silver. It's not very big. The issue, of course, is I think it's probably better than -1. So do we want to do that, or do we want to put down like a stone floor and then have to rip up the stone floor later? It's a good question. In the meanwhile, Tsukihana says, time for traps. Let's make some steel traps. So what we're going to do, well, we're going to do first actually, so I said we were going to put some stone doors in. Still doing pretty good on limestone. So we're going to put a stone door here, 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 stone door here. Now we're going to get some of that wood from the wall back. Not a lot, but some. This is actually kind of funny. What's going to happen to the wood? Hey, it's right in the doorway, which is not necessarily... Whoa. Wow, that was scary. That elephant came at us fast, but it was just going for grass. Okay, guys, wouldn't it be nice if you like that? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. This is ideal. Jeym is actually doing some stone cutting, which works just fine. Let's go, guys. Let's get this wood. All these doors staying open. Food poisoning. Not ideal. Our environment is not too pristine. I think Jem's cooking skills are actually reasonably decent. So, little surprised, but again, not a very pristine area. So we're getting these doors in. Eventually we'll want to, of course, replace the wood wall with a nice stone wall. But the key here is... Oh, I do not like the night going by without this complete. That's what's going to happen. So, what I'm going to do to end this episode is, again, we'll end it here as we're all going to sleep and sleeping a nice peaceful night away. We're going to finish this. We're going to set some traps up in the next episode, most likely. We'll continue to make some stone blocks to expand. And we will think about what other things we need to do now that we're actually getting to the point where we're going to talk about base expansion and a workspace. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.